Well, it's that time of the year. It's the just before trades start to happen, just before free agency starts to happen. And so it's maybe the most fun part of the year, right? Because you already know that your favorite team is going to trade for the quarterback you want. Unless you have a quarterback, then they're going to trade for the wide receiver you want. Everything is going to work out perfect for your team. You're going to get the best players in free agency and in the draft. The most exciting time of the year. These are 5 crazy hypothetical situations where there's trades. These are 5 hypothetical trades that will not happen, but would make sense. I want to make something that I could see why both teams would do it. That was my criteria, is I could see the logic behind each team making this trade, and also the goal was to create 5 trades that, if they happened, would completely break the internet, and it's all anyone would be talking about on sports channels for the next couple of days. That was the goal, and so, the first one I had to come up with was an Aaron Rodgers trade, right? Aaron Rodgers, if he gets traded, it would completely break the internet. And, I think the funniest thing for me would be if he follows in Brett Favre's footsteps and goes to the Jets. Here's the trade that I came up with. I used Pro Football Focus's, they have like the mock draft simulator, but you can also trade players. So I used that as kind of a gauge for how much value some of these things would take. So the Jets receive Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to throw Christian Watson on there. Why not? If you're rebuilding, spend a little bit of extra draft capital and get Christian Watson as well. You're already here, right? Packers will receive 3 first, 3 second, and 3 thirds, along with 1 fourth. That is how much capital it would take to get Aaron Rodgers and Christian Watson. And you know what? It would be worth it, because you'd immediately be championship contenders, assuming Aaron Rodgers still has it. Now, okay, if Aaron Rodgers is old and washed up, well, then you're screwed. But you know what? It's worth the risk. The risk is you're screwed. The reward is you win a Super Bowl. That's a move you make, in my opinion. So I think it would be great for both sides, really. I mean, again, for the Packers, I know some people might say this is a lot, but they have a quarterback who is just a year removed from winning back-to-back MVPs, and I thought still played well last year, just was in a tough situation until the situation got better, and he looked better when that happened. I do not think Aaron Rodgers is washed up. He wasn't an MVP last year, so it wasn't his best year, because usually we expect that kind of performance from him. But, he still has some years left. They don't want to just get rid of him. The Packers do not want to go ahead and just get rid of him, because then they're in full rebuild mode at that point. But you get, 10 draft picks, 3 of them first, 3 of them seconds, and 3 of them thirds. You're more likely to say yes at that point. So this is, hypothetical blockbuster number 1. How about this hypothetical? The Lions receive Aaron Donald. Let's put Aaron Donald on the trade block. And the Rams receive pick 18. Just the 1 first-round pick. PFF, actually, this is one where it went away from their trade scenario. They said that Aaron Donald wouldn't even get this, which I kind of understand, because he is starting to get up there in age, and he is getting paid a lot. But you know what? He's Aaron Donald. And I would still want to get him if I'm the Lions, who are maybe thinking, let's try to compete now. Hey, what do you do when you're a team that's on the bubble trying to compete right away? Do what the Eagles did. And instead of using the extra draft capital you have just to draft, maybe use some of it to get a player. And with these young edge rushers who are seemingly coming into their own, you put Aaron Donald on a defensive line, and it is a scary thing to look after. And really, I mean, he's one of the most valuable players in the entire NFL. You put him on that defense that struggled last year. It's a completely different defense. And do the Rams want to do this? Well, if the Rams are serious about potentially trading Jalen Ramsey, why not start to blow it up a little? Why not say, okay, let's get rid of Aaron Donald as well and get pick 18? This would not be the pick that the Rams traded to the Lions, with the Matt Stafford thing. It would be the Lions' own pick they'd be giving back to the Rams. But, I could see the logic behind it. Personally, if I'm the Rams, I don't know if I blow it up quite yet, but I could see if they wanted to why this would make sense. Speaking of blowing it up, how about another one that would not happen but would be fun? The Bills receive Devonte Adams. The Raiders receive a first and a third. Not quite as much as they gave up for him, but you know what? I don't think you're going to get quite as much as you gave up for him. He's a year older. This is what PFF said, so I'm going to go with what their, the PFF mock draft simulator thing, what that came up with. So that's what we'll do. The reason why I think this makes sense is, hey, if you're Buffalo, kind of need a little bit more firepower, I mean, you see the weapons that the Chiefs have. You see the weapons that the Bengals have. The secondary receivers for the Bills aren't bad, but if they added Devonte Adams, they probably jump up to Super Bowl favorites at that point once again. And they've been there before and it didn't work out. But still, you get an opportunity to be Super Bowl favorites, you take that opportunity. They'd have to make the cap work, but we all know you can push it down the road if you want. So it's something you could do. The Raiders, again, I don't know what they're doing because they just traded for Devonte Adams, but now it seems like they're going through a rebuild. Maybe they want to draft a quarterback and they don't want to have to get rid of Devonte Adams because that would put him in a tougher situation. Or maybe they'll say, hey, we thought we were closer than we are. We're actually a little bit further away, so we're not going to double down on our mistake. We'll trade him and get close to the same value back, and we're good. So I could understand the logic either way. But again, it's never going to happen, but would be fun. How about this trade that would probably cause the internet to burn down? The Chiefs receive Mike Evans and Chris Godwin plus a fifth. They're going to get a 5th round pick as well. That's just to make it work. The Buccaneers receive a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Again, the Chiefs have to make the cap work, but as we say, you can move that around a little bit. Maybe Tampa Bay even takes some of the salary on for the first year just to make it a little bit easier. I could see them doing it. If the Buccaneers do want to tank, which they probably should, why not just say, you know what, we're going to get rid of some of our good players. We're going to fully rebuild at this point. Again, Mike Evans, I think, has meant so much to Tampa Bay. He is getting a little bit up there in age, though. So it's a decision you could make. As a Tampa Bay fan, I don't want this to happen. I like Mike Evans. I like Chris Godwin. I like when they play for my team. I'm just saying from a business side of things, I could see the logic behind it. And again, for Kansas City, well, hey, if the Buffalo Bills just traded for Devonte Adams, you have to keep pace, right? But just in general, I mean, you just won the Super Bowl, but look at how close Cincinnati was to beating you. You want to make sure you keep getting better. A chance to get 2 star players right here that would turn your receiving core from still very good to now one of the best of all time with Evans, Godwin, and Travis Kelce. So is Godwin your 3rd option at this point? I think he is not coming off his best year, but still, and you're giving up some draft capital for it. But, I think it would be worth it to try and win another Super Bowl right now and to maximize the time you have Mahomes. So, again, you'd have to make the cap work. That'd be kind of an issue, but it would be definitely a blockbuster that would break the internet, essentially. And finally, I had to put a Lamar trade on there. And why not the 49ers, who, again, would be one of the ones where you have to I had to work a little bit more to make the actual trade itself work because the 49ers don't have a first-round pick coming up. So that's kind of an issue. But I also have a typo in the thing, which I'll get to in just a second. But the trade itself, 49ers receive Lamar Jackson. The Ravens are going to receive Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk, and then only 2 first-round picks because they don't have their first-round pick this year. So 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks is the actual trade itself. Brandon Ayuk basically substitutes for one of the first-round picks. So it's essentially 3 first-rounders, 3 seconds, and then Trey Lance. So the idea is if the Ravens do want to get rid of Lamar for whatever reason, well, then why not do it in a way where you can get another young quarterback who has potential? For the 49ers, I would love this move for them. I think Shanahan could do a lot of great stuff with Lamar, as we saw with RG3, but even if Lamar was just a drop-back quarterback, I think he would be great in that situation. Lamar could be awesome just as a straight-up quarterback in that system. He really could. I think it'd be a perfect fit, in fact. One of the better fits, I think, out there. And the 49ers would immediately become, I think, certainly NFC favorites, right? If they made this move, it would be so exciting to watch. And again, there's some logic behind it, I think, as well. You have to make the cap work. That's kind of an issue with all of these things. Is there, cap is a thing. You do have to work around it, but you can work around it. So if Lamar's going to get traded, which again, if I'm the Ravens, I just pay Lamar. But if you're going to trade him, it would take something like this, I think, to trade him. It would take a haul like this, 3 first, 3 seconds, and a player like Trey Lance. That would probably be what I'm looking for. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? What do you think of my hypothetical trades? And do you have a hypothetical trade in the comments below? Let me know, what was your least favorite hypothetical trade? And why would your favorite team never do what I said they would do? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.